to the Fresh Dish on Dance Dish TV. I am your host, Tammy Wendell. It is So You Think You Can Dance we are talking about, Season 18, Top 8. It is Broadway week. Now, this is a classic on the show. It's been around forever. So we always look forward to this week. The opening number was choreographed by Blackstone. They danced to If They Could See Me Now by Sammy Davis Jr. Now, this was a classy, jazzy number. They were dressed in black and white tuxedo attire, but there was no one person to really point out. But that's not a negative here. You want to know why? Because they were all standouts. They danced so beautifully together. Okay, so basically, there were 8 dancers, and on the stage, they all morphed into one. Do you know what I'm saying here? Do you feel what I'm saying here? It was just that natural, beautiful flow, and just, it was brilliant. It was easy. It was cool and collected. It was just so good. And the positive here, the extra cool part that I love is Jalen's hair. Oh yeah, slicked back. I love that. And the negative here has nothing to do with the dancers, but the producers of the show, and that is no live studio audience. I can't get over this, especially with Broadway week. I just can't. I want to talk about a few little side notes before we get into the performances. Because what I love this week, and I mentioned last week that I didn't see enough of personal stories. And I had a feeling when it got to less numbers, less dancers, we would see more. And I was right. So I love that they're showing more rehearsal time, more feedback from the choreographers, some personal stuff from inside the house. We're learning that Dakayla has a crush on Anthony. And then everybody has this little high school, giddy type meeting asking them if they think the other one's attractive. And then, they're sitting one's on one side, the couch, and one's on the other side. It was so high school. It was so cute. I loved it. And then another side note is Roman is a boxer. That's super cool. He uses it to de-stress, I guess. In college, he had a very strict dance coach, so he started boxing. So I love it. Let's get right into the group dances. We have Blackstone again, who choreographed Anthony, Dakayla, Jalen, and Madison. Now, this was kind of a character piece, Broadway, remember? And it's inspired by On the Town. So the 2 characters of Jalen and Easton, they're playing song and dance men, working at a nightclub, trying to get people to come in. And then we have Dakayla and Madison, who are the tough sailor girls, just getting off the ship, and they have 24 hours to party. Those are the descriptions we're given. And now, so they danced to In the Mood by the BBC Big Band. So we have the characters, and now they have to fit the part and bring a part of who they are to it. Now, because this piece had so much building of the story and so much acting, our eyes were on every detail, laser focused. Of course, naturally, you're comparing Anthony to Jalen and Dakayla to Madison because there are only 4 dancers and two different roles, right? But they were all amazing in their own way. They all brought identical energies, but with their own personalities. So with that, it was wonderful entertainment by 4 equally outstanding dancers. The judges gave them a standing ovation. They nitpicked because they have to, but I don't. So there, it was amazing. The second Broadway group was Braylon, Easton, Mariah, and Roman. This was choreographed by Sarah Oglebe. They danced Cabaret. Now, this is to showcase each as individuals. They danced to Will Coleman, and that's the song 2021 London cast of Cabaret, and Eddie Redmayne. This piece required from the dancers a high level of quirkiness, wild abandonment, emotion, and inner turmoil. I imagine this is a check it off the bucket list kind of performance. I imagine after dancing this, you would feel an immediate release of any and all emotion you've been holding on to. These are just thoughts that go through my head and how I think I would feel if I were dancing it. It was just wild and wonderful. Everyone stood out in their own unique way. It was like a subjective piece of art. It was just brilliant. It's hard to get nitpicky with it because of that subjectiveness, And kudos to Mariah and Braylon for moving on through their little mishap, their run-in, because that was part of the challenge too, is, if something happens on a live performance, the show must go on, and they sure did. Now, the judges gave the dancers wonderful feedback. It was useful and impactful and something they can definitely take with them, so I appreciated that. Now, again, what I didn't appreciate, no live audience. This is Broadway. They went on about how you're performing live to the people with no people, just 3 judges in a huge theater with no people, just 3. And then they brought the audience in for the solos. They had that all backwards. Bring the audience in for the live performances. They need to feed off that energy to give their full performance. But you know what? Fox is not listening to me, so just you guys, so you could hear my rant. Once again, we move into the part of this show that none of us really love, and that's the bottom 4. We had Braylon, Roman, Dakayla, and Anthony. So first up was Braylon. He danced to Stabat Mater by Woodkid. Now, this guy is going to fight until he wins this show. Okay, we know he got voted off, which is not fair, but when I'm watching it, I'm like, this guy is going to fight until he wins this show. I can say with full confidence, this is the most amazing solo I have ever seen. I want to know who choreographed this. Was it you, Braylon? I need to know. Can this guy, if he did win some prestigious solo award or something, it literally does not get better than that. Braylon, you are a gift from God. You are amazing. This is just the beginning for you, okay? So just put out your wings and fly at this point, because you are awesome and I love you. Roman danced his solo to Beggin. That right there is get the energy going kind of song. Roman is a fire starter. Roman is an audience flirt. Roman is a fighter. He can play other parts for survival, but this is his stage. Latin ballroom is his home court advantage. It was full of precise technique and personality. Allison was right. He gave us a full show, and it was an amazing show. So the fact that he got sent home just goes to show, 4 amazing solos for the night. How do you pick 2? They were just all amazing. So I think it came down to their full body of work and just having to make a decision. Roman, you will be missed. Dakayla danced her solo to Demons by Doja Cat. Girl, so you think you can dance? Heck yeah, you can dance. I watched that over and over again. It was full of attitude, crazy cool rhythm, tricks in every sleeve and pocket, movements with the hottest transitions. This dance is exactly how you make sexy powerful. Every girl watching can be inspired by that kind of confidence. I mean, come on, Dakayla. That is how you show up. Anthony's solo was to Punch Bag Love by Adam French. Now, when you see something and it takes a hold of you emotionally, I say, I get emotional watching dancers, but not like this. Anthony was so riveting, my eyes were watering. And then this ripple effect of emotion through my body, I am not exaggerating. At first I was worried that the literal punch to his face was too much, but then he took it to the next level, next level, please. It was literal, and that is why it was so moving. And his physicality was so powerful. Blown away, Anthony, and that's why you're moving on. That's it, everyone. Another week on, and now we are down to the top 6. I tell you, the season goes by way too quickly. They should only eliminate 1 at a time. But thank you for watching. I'm super grateful. Just please comment, subscribe, follow me at Dance Dish TV, pretty much on every social media platform. And you can subscribe to the podcast. So you guys are all amazing. And I can't wait to come back next week.